Hello, hello. It's AVTPro, Advanced Visualization Technology Productions. And today I have a real doozy for you today. My hat says Pro, right? AVT Pro. Anyway, I have a real doozy for you. I'm going to solve a problem that I've seen a lot and that I notice a lot of people have, or it's one of the daunting things about starting animation. So, I was trying to think of a good title for this morning, but I didn't want to say anything derogatory uh, like why your animation is bad or why you're not getting it. But basically, it's I'm going to show you why or how to animate in about 2 minutes, or how to animate your character, or what the problem is with your animation, or why you can't animate the way you want, or why you can't control your animations. So when you have a 3D character, when you animate, you go to animate, and then the animation looks like this. It's mushy. And the problem is there's no accent, there's no distinction between different forms of motion. And it's a little bit more simpler than that. I don't want to go into any aesthetics about the principles. I'm just talking solely about when you have a 3D character and you want to animate the character. Let's say raise his hand, wave his hand, or raise. Let's something simpler. Let's go there. Raise his hand, puts his head on his hand or fist, rest their head, and then do something like that. Any 2 or 3 moves. So what'll happen is you'll do like this, and it'll go like this, and it'll do like that. It'll be very mushy animation. And just to cut to the chase, uh, it is a simple problem that you're having with something that is called moving holds. Now, that in itself sounds like a oxymoron to me, oxymoronic, or it's just oxy is what I like to say. It just seems like two opposite terms. So moving hold, how can something be moving and holding? So for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to say it is a hold. The problem is you're not doing holds. And a hold would be like this. You hold here, and then you hold here, and then you put your hand back down, and that's a hold. So what happens with animations, F curve editor, the graph editor, or anything where you have the timeline and you have the the units of movement, or the units of measure on the right side or left side and going up and down, and along the bottom or top horizontally you have the time. So it's a matter of the units that you move for how much time. And the problem is that when you put one point here and make another move here, it usually goes straight diagonal and then diagonal into the other. When what it needs to do is hold even at a particular measurement or unit for a particular time. And so you hold that for a certain amount of time, and then you move, or it has to transition to the next unit or a measurement or a position. And so it's like this, and then it diagonally moves. Your timeline, your F curve editor, your graph editor will always look like that. It'll be hold, move, diagonal, move, hold. And so that's the key. So you have to, the problem is that you usually you make one position here, then you make another position there, and it goes directly from one position to the other, and then to the next, and it doesn't hold. So what's supposed to happen if you have a position here, it holds. Then you have the next position. It's usually a very quick transition, and then you have it move to the next position. So the graph, I'm going to show you with my finger. I'm not going to use any diagrams or anything. I'm not even using a program because I can tell you how to do it. The 9 men, Ward Kimball, can tell you in a matter of minutes just how to do like overlap or any principle of an animation. That's what I'm basically doing. Is giving you, just telling you, because it's really that simple. So when you do your next animation, you have one keyframe. You keep that keyframe, go to the next length of time, and make another keyframe. That keyframe, that next keyframe, is the hold key, meaning nothing changes from there to there. It should be one horizontal line. Then you move to the next spot in time, and or move the time marker to another length of time. Let's say if you're going from 10 seconds to, let's say, 12 seconds or 11 seconds, then you move, pose your character, and then you add the amount of time you want it to hold there, and then you click just a keyframe. You don't move it, you don't move your character, you just add another key. So that holds it for that time or space. So that's when they say move and hold, that means they just move the other keyframe a little. So it's really holding the amount of space. So you might move the hand a little bit like that. So it just moves. It's basically the same pose. So that's the ideal of it. It's I'm trying to keep this under 10 minutes, but basically it. So I'm going to tell you one more time, just so that you'll know. The problem with most animations is that your lines go diagonal, diagonal, diagonal to each key. It's constantly moving, and so it's mushy. It's going like this to this to this. There's not. It's just going to key to key to key. You don't have a hold key. So you have this pose. You hold it by just adding another key, and then go to the next pose, and that'll automatically generate a key. And then you add a key for the length of time you want it to hold. And so that is the hold key, or the moving hold. And so it just holds that spot for however many seconds. Now, you don't have to always time it out. People say use reference. You can use reference. You don't have to time it out. You don't have to use a stopwatch. All you have to do is watch it, because if it's doing like this, you didn't do it. It's got to go here, hold, then here, hold, then here, hold, however long you want to hold it. If you do something like this, like I'm doing, that's called secondary animation. Then you can move to the next one, hold, however long I'm holding it, however long you feel like holding it, however long it's in the video, whatever, you just is hold. So I'm going to go over that one more time. This is why your animations, why you can't control your animations, why they don't look the way they want. Now, when you use step keys are automatic hold. It just holds the keys. If you have step, it'll be one key for that length until you make the next move, and then it'll jump to the next one. It'll go vertically right to it. When you turn it from step to linear, they say, like everybody teaches it this way. Then you make your step keys and then turn it to linear. What happens is you don't have any holds. So what you have to do is make sure that if you use step and then want to convert it to linear, you have to still put the holds in. So you do one, and so it's usually a second pass. So it doesn't automatically does the holds, and then it snaps to the next one. That's good when you see that animated. It snaps to the next one, snaps to the next one. Then you got to go back and hold it, and then add a key or a move and hold. It's about to go into that one, and then it moves, and then it holds, moving, hold, move and hold, move and hold. Slight move is basically you copying the last key and just add or just tweaking it just a little bit. So I hope that's clear. I know that if you follow those instructions, your animations will come out much better. You'll be able to control it. And it's a very simple problem that you just, like, most people when they start out animating, they don't get. There's people that still animating don't get it. Sometimes I don't get it. Sometimes I forget when I'm doing all these other principles and things like that. This has nothing to do with the principles. Doesn't mean you're going to have great animation. That great animation comes from doing the 12 principles of the 9 old men, meaning overlap, squash and stretch, secondary animation, whatever else, exaggeration, appeal, staging. All of those things are the other principles that make animation look good. This is just how to control your computer, just how to control your character, how to, when you wanted to point and then put his hand down and then look that way and then look back. Very simple. Just one key, hold it. Next key, hold it. That little transition, that movement is going to be the diagonal. All the other parts is going to be the horizontal. It is either horizontal or diagonal. At least when you're first starting that. Then you finesse it, make it more what you want, but that's basically it. So, I hope this is helpful. I really thought that this video would be much, much shorter, but I kind of got a little distracted. So I'm trying to focus on this and trying to give you the exact information that you need. So I'll go over it one more time. What is your animation doing if it's doing like this? It is being still. As soon as it moves to another unit of position, rotation or position or scale, then it's a diagonal, it's a transit, meaning it's moving up the units of measure. I hate to say that. I wanted to do it simpler. So, holding, moving, holding, holding, moving, holding, moving, holding, moving, holding. That's all the graph editor ever is. So when you look at the graph editor and it freaks you out, don't freak out. It's very, very simple. The core of it is very simple. It's just a line that shows when it's moving and when it's not moving. When it's moving and when it's not moving. So, and that's for every axis. That's for X, Y, and Z. That's for X, Y, and Z in position, X, Y, and Z in rotation, and then you have scale or whatever parameters that you would change. Much longer video than I expected. I might do this over. I call myself Alonzo the homeless animator. So that's my new moniker, So I have, if you like this video, if you found it helpful, all you need to do is zap me on Cash App or PayPal. The links are in the bottom there. And so thank you for your support, and God bless you all.